Imagine being surrounded by gold, power, applause, having your face carved into statues, your name etched in history, being called the wisest of emperors, and yet feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world alone. That was the life of Marcus Aurelius, a man who, on the outside, seemed to have everything, but on the inside battled daily not to lose himself. While ruling an empire in crisis, he faced betrayals, personal losses, and a solitude that not even 1,000 soldiers could guard against. But what keeps a man in his position from giving in to despair? What stops him from drowning in power? Vanity and violence? The answer isn't found in history books. It's in a notebook hidden for centuries, where Marcus wrote letters to himself, words he never imagined anyone else would read. Words not seeking applause, but clarity. Not seeking to conquer the world, but to conquer it from within. And that's what this video is about, a philosophy that has outlived empires, wars, and centuries. Stoicism, and how it can save your mind. Today, Rome was collapsing. Epidemics swept through entire cities. Revolts threatened the borders. The throne was a minefield. Everyone around Marcus had ulterior motives. Politics was a dirty game, where truth was worth less than silence. And still, every morning before the sun rose, Marcus Aurelius would sit down to write. Not decrees, not commands, but reflections. Today I will encounter envy, rudeness, ingratitude. He wrote it as if preparing for war, not against the world, but against himself. And think about it. How many times have you woken up, and even before leaving home, already felt like the day was a battlefield? Piled up messages, demands, cold stares, crushing expectations. It's like modern life changed its clothes, but not its essence. The chaos is the same. The difference is how you choose to face it. Marcus didn't have a coach, no social media. To vent, he couldn't run away to the countryside or abandon his position. All he had was his own mind, and it was there that he found freedom, in inner control, in quiet discipline, in mastering his emotions, and maybe, just maybe, that's what you need too. Not more distractions, but an inner manual, a compass, an invisible shield. Stoicism was not born among kings, but among common men. Zeno, its founder, was a merchant who lost everything in a shipwreck. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic teachers, was a slave. Seneca lived surrounded by luxury, but wrote his best letters while waiting for his own death. And Marcus Aurelius, well, Marcus was an emperor, but he wrote like a man on the edge of losing it all. This philosophy doesn't promise happiness. It doesn't say everything will be okay. In fact, it tells you with brutal honesty that you will suffer, that losses will come, that people will disappoint you, that death is always nearby, but that you can be greater than all of it. The Stoics divided the world into two parts, what is within our control and what is not. Our thoughts, our actions, our values, those are ours. Everything else is not, and that's the key. If you waste your energy trying to change what's not yours to control, you're throwing your life away. But if you focus on what is yours, your conduct, your attitude, your perspective, then, even in the worst storms, you remain standing. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind and not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about it. How many bad moments have you lived just because you reacted poorly to something that was already inevitable? Why let yourself be consumed by something not in your hands? If that question resonates with you, write in the comments, "I see with clarity." It's a quiet way of saying you're awake, that you no longer want to live as a slave to randomness. The most dangerous enemy is never on the outside. Have you noticed how often the biggest saboteur of your peace is yourself? It's not the bills, the boss, the traffic, or the betrayal. It's your thoughts spinning in circles, your mind, inventing scenarios that never existed, your anxiety predicting pain that may never come, your anger turning you into someone you don't even recognize. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He wrote to tame his mind like someone taming a wild horse. He said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Stoic philosophy is, above all, mental training. It's like strengthening an invisible muscle, awareness, being present, questioning your impulses, breathing before reacting, choosing with clarity what deserves your energy and what doesn't even deserve your silence. But this isn't learned overnight. It's a process, a journey, a daily practice. The Stoics called it the practice of virtue. And virtue is not something abstract. It's action. It's having courage even when afraid, being just even when no one is watching, being disciplined even without motivation. And that, my friend, is a constant challenge, because, as Stoicism says, the road to serenity is hard, but it's the only one worth walking. You don't control what happens, but you can become unshakable in the face of it. Imagine losing everything today: your job, your relationship, your money, your reputation, everything. Who would you be without it? That is the central question of Stoicism, because the true worth of a man or a woman lies not in what they possess, but in what remains when the world falls apart. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." In other words, there's no point in knowing what serenity is if you explode over a delay. No point quoting wise phrases if you live as a prisoner of emotions. Real transformation happens when you start to live differently, silently, deeply. And the most beautiful part is that no one can stop you from becoming that person. The world can attack you, ignore you, frustrate you, but it cannot stop you from responding calmly, from not carrying hate, from keeping your focus, from staying whole even among the pieces. Stoic practice gives you freedom, not the kind the world sells based on consumption, status, or fame, but internal freedom, the kind that allows you to smile even in the chaos, the kind that depends on no one but yourself. And maybe right now, that's the freedom you need most. If this idea resonates with you, leave in the comments, "I strengthen myself in silence." That phrase will be our code. Among those who, even broken, chose to rebuild from within. You are not here by accident. If this video touched you in any way, don't ignore this sign. Maybe life is trying to show you a new path, calmer, stronger, truer. Stoicism is not a trend. It's an ancient tool, a lighthouse in times of darkness, a map for the soul in days when everyone seems lost. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they wrote for themselves. But maybe without knowing it, they were writing for you, so that today, in this video, their words could reach you. You can continue your life as before. Ignore all of this. Or you can use this moment as a turning point, a silent decision, personal, unshakable. If that makes sense to you, consider subscribing. Not out of vanity, but for purpose. This channel is a shelter. A space where we seek together practical wisdom, emotional strength, and clarity amid the noise. And if this content strengthened you, share it with someone in need. Maybe someone you don't even know is at the edge. In the comments, write just one thing. "I walk with strength." It's simple, it's discreet, but enough for us to know we're walking together, even in silence. And until the next video, remember, you cannot control what the world does to you, but you can decide who you will be in response.